trap. Welcome to the trap.
Welcome to the trap. Welcome to the trap. Welcome to the trap. Welcome to the trap.
Let's go. Zen,
Trap,
Zen,
trap,
Zen,
trap,
Zen.
trap.
Protect,
Yo, peace.
protect your energy. All right, welcome back for another Zen Trap Travels. I'm one of your two hosts, Zen P.
Yogi LG.
Yogi LG, why don't you tell them what location we're reviewing today?
All right, today we are reviewing Portugal, Lisbon, Portugal. Super excited about this spot. I heard a lot about Portugal, different areas, Porto, Lisbon, but we decided to go with Lisbon. We were staying in a hostel, so we knew that was going to be an interesting time. We were going to meet a bunch of people, and this is a really nice hostel. I think when we first got there, I think we got there on a Monday.
Yeah. So we came from Dublin.
Right?
And we got there late at night. It wasn't late, but it was like nighttime. It's probably like 11,
Yeah, yeah. It was probably
10,
10:30, 11.
11. And when we first got out there, we were looking for like an Uber, but couldn't find where Ubers pick up. So we had to get in the cab line. And that cab line was
Ooh, like two. It wasn't 2 hours. It was probably an hour though.
it was like 45 minutes. But
It was close. It
it was,
was. It
it was
was a lot of
wild.
people in
I
that
think
line.
there was a lot of people in the line and it was hot outside. So it just like, it's like 10 o'clock at night and it's like hot with all these bags after you've been walking. So it felt like a long time, but it was
Yeah.
probably an hour.
Yeah, they had a good
Um,
system where cabs was coming in, like
yeah.
they driving to like 4 or 5 spots, pick people up and keep moving. So that was
Yeah,
really
but
cool.
it was a lot of people, but they were getting them in and out.
Yeah.
Cab driver we had drove like crazy. I was worried if everybody in Portugal drives like this or what, but
Yeah.
this dude picked us up and he probably honked his horn 20 times and it was only probably like a 15-minute drive or so, if that. And he was zooming through these streets, like
He was
probably
like
almost
a
hit something a couple
madman.
times. It's crazy
Yeah,
in the back seat.
swerving.
So we
Yeah,
got
but
to the
we
hostel at like midnight.
checked in. Of course, you got to go in the room quiet. We in a room with
Pitch
like,
black room,
yeah,
quiet.
it's 10 beds in this
And of
hostel
course, we
room.
got top bunks again.
Yep. So we
So
climbing on the top bunks.
yeah. So then the next day, we kind of just chilled, went and looked for food. We ate at a spot called Ropa Stupa.
Hmm.
Uh, they had like random different food, but we got like chow mein and butter chicken, like
Yeah,
Indian
it
type
was good
cuisines.
though.
It was cool.
Sangria was good. He
Sangria
put
was
like
cool.
7 different liquors in the sangria, so that was good.
Yep. Other than that, for the most part, it was just really chilling and walking around and stuff. I found like a little outside park to work out at. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we walked to one first, like one that was kind of far.
Yeah, we walked to one, and it was. Think about Portugal. It's kind of like San Francisco. Like
For
it's a
sure.
lot of hills. The city was kind of built that way, so it's definitely you could walk somewhere and it'd be like, oh yeah, this ain't far, but you end up climbing like a fucking mountain or something.
Up and down these hills, and then like the
Yeah,
views on the way was pretty cool. Walked through a couple parks.
yeah,
Walked across this like bridge that it was like a train running
yeah,
below and all this other stuff. So it was nice views on the way to the walk, but again, it was a nice little walk. Yeah, we took an Uber back.
for
Um,
sure.
then I think the day after that, that's when we went to the timeout market.
Yeah, so we had a cooking class that was kind of in an area called, is it called Amarada?
I have no clue.
Yeah, so it's kind of like across the river, but like right in that area before you can like take the ferry across the river is just like this cool market called Timeout Market. It's basically like a food hall, but during the day, like earlier in the day, they have an actual market. So fish, fruits, all this kind of stuff, and then you go on the other side and there's like a really. I found out Timeout Market is in a lot of actual big cities. So, like
Oh,
across the world, there's a bunch of
nice.
timeout markets. So, definitely look out for those. And maybe a foreign city you're going to.
Are they all essentially like food halls?
Yeah,
Hmm.
basically.
So yeah,
Uh,
it's like all these different places to eat, all these different types of food inside of the market with like seats and like vendors with drinks and stuff. But like they got like, of course, if you have been to a food hall, you know what we're talking about. But like they got like breakfast type foods, they got Asian cuisines, they got the local cuisines, like almost anything you want, steak, burgers and fries, what like
yeah,
whatever. And you can
yeah. Sangria's made. It was wine tastings, everything that you can imagine.
they had a Taylor port stand, had to hit that up.
For sure. So that was really cool to go in there. And we kind of just walked around that area for a minute
Yep.
before we had to take the ferry over to our cooking class, which was super cool. The lady, we did it at her home. So she met us kind of at the dock when we got off on that other side of the river. And we walked to her house, which was close. It was pretty cool. She stayed in like, I don't know, like a high rise building, I would say, something like that.
It's apartment. Yeah.
Yeah, apartment. So we went in there and did a cooking class, which was pretty good. We made local cuisine from Portugal. Um, we made a custard pie that they're known for. I'm trying to remember the name of that. Uh, let's see. It's called uh, pastéis de nata is what it's called. And then we made uh, baklaha agomez, which is a potato and cod
Mm-hmm.
and onion and garlic dish with like olive oil. That was pretty good. We had some wine. She gave us wine. We made clams. That was an appetizer. I never made clams before, so that was pretty cool. It was a pretty authentic experience. She was really nice.
I'll take one or two also, and then see.
A lot of pressure. He escaped.
Yeah, he always escapes. I'm probably just waiting. I think you are the one taking pictures, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what's that.
Is that good?
Yes. It's because it's going to puff, and we don't want it to come out.
Because it has flour, eggs.
Yeah. Sure, with you cooking instead of me. This is for the of the time in the kitchen cooking the cod. So be careful. I know that our olives are even different from the careful. And throw the clams inside. I don't like to do that because of that. So, how you see that the bottle is okay?
No.
Don't use this. I'm not going to do it because I don't have enough strength now. But just twist, holding it like this, twist, and keep twisting and taking it out.
Take over that.
The method.
Oh Lord, that's good.
Excuse me.
Okay, stop.
Oh.
Now that is how you see that the cord has been having enough space to breathe. Just to breathe. It is always hard, but that's how you see.
Yeah, she had. I've never seen like I think I've seen it maybe once in life, but it's been a while. Like a pet stuffed, and it was a turtle that was like she used to have a pet turtle, I guess, and this is a big ass turtle too, like almost big as like a small dog, and it looked like a statue. like it looked bronzed and everything, but she was just like, no, that's my real pet turtle that used to be or whatever, and got him like stuffed in. So and whatever it's called when you put
Involved.
embalmed and stuff like that is crazy because that I don't know. I'm sure it's something they probably spray on it and all of this other stuff, but whatever it is, that really intrigued me. But then we sat around. She said she was gonna take us to go see the sunset by the ferry, by the dock and stuff. It was amazing,
Yeah, beautiful
amazing
sunset.
views. Then we was taking the ferry back, and on the way back, it was like a black dude in front of us. He had a backwards hat on, and like I don't know how you could just look at somebody and kind of tell they're from America. And then I heard him speaking English and stuff. So when we got on the ferry, I was like, "Hey man, what's up? Like you from America?" And he's like, "Oh yeah. Like I'm from. I don't even know where he said he was from,
I
but
think he was like by way of Houston, but he went to school in North Carolina or something like that.
yeah, because he went to NC State.
Yeah,
But he was cool. He gave us all his contact stuff. Apparently, he travels a lot or has been. He's like living in Dubai and playing football. And he's like a meteorologist and all this other stuff. It's crazy. He's doing a podcast too. I told him we definitely probably try and get him on and talk to him about in more detail about the stuff he has going on. So when we got back, he was going to a music festival that was happening in like the middle of the woods somewhere with one of his homeboys and stuff in Portugal. So he was literally all in it. He had like the little travel backpack on and stuff. So I chilled with him and got beers when we got back by the dock and had like pizza and stuff. Lindsay was feeling a little under the weather anyway. Like you got like semi sick like
yeah,
earlier that day, so she wasn't feeling too good. So she headed back to the Airbnb or the hostel. But we just chilled and talked for a minute. Super cool dude. Definitely had some interesting viewpoints that I'm sure he would love to talk about. So can't
yeah,
wait to get him on, do like life story in under a minute and stuff. And I think that'll be really interesting. The next day, I got up and worked out. Look again, Lindsay was still feeling a little bit under the weather, so she
yeah.
chilled.
I actually got up and went to go get a COVID test, find some medicine. So I like left the room, went in to go did that. COVID test
Oh
came back negative.
yeah, you
Yeah,
got sick probably because of them girls in the room.
yeah,
I
yeah,
forgot about that. We
hundred
had
percent.
like some girls in the room that was from like Texas as well,
And they was
randomly.
like coughing the whole time. Like as
They
soon
were
as we got in there,
young Caucasian girls. They were like 19, 20 or something. I don't know. They were just
traveling for the
taking a break
summer.
before, yeah.
Yeah, they went
And
to
like
like
when I don't know when
15
they came,
countries in 6 weeks.
yeah, they were doing aggressive travel, but when they came back in the room, it was like middle of the night, and you just hear them like just like one girl was like
Coughing.
coughing a lot and stuff,
I
and she was
can't.
like right below my bunk, so that was the weird part. But I mean, it ain't much you can do about that. Like,
Yeah, so I like text P like, "Hey, these girls sick." I can hear like that was like Tuesday morning. Like as soon as we got there, I was like, "Oh, they sick." And so by Wednesday, I was definitely not feeling good. So I went to go get a COVID test, but it kind of got me out the house. So I actually waiting on my COVID test. I went and explored a little bit. I was in a random area, just took the train there. Walked to kind of almost the dock where we had been for Time Out Market. So I kind of walked that way and just saw a different side of the city, a lot of restaurants, a lot of people just out and about chilling. So it was just cool to kind of just sit out and sit at a coffee shop. And I got some Starbucks to try to got some fresh juice and some other stuff just to try to make myself feel better.
okay, cliffhanger, COVID test results.
COVID test results were negative,
That's good.
thankfully. So I felt comfortable going back in the room, but I was still wearing my mask and stuff just because I didn't want to get nobody else sick. But I was definitely down all day Wednesday, slept a lot.
I had
Uh,
to teach Lindsay how to spit out mucus. Like she kept going around just like I don't know. I'm sure it's not lady like the spit and stuff, but
yeah,
like when you
exactly.
walking around with all this mucus and you just keep swallowing it, it's not gonna help you get better and you're gonna stay sick longer. So literally I feel like after I told her that a couple hours later, she wasn't even doing all the like sniffling and stuff no more. It's like you gotta go ahead and get that up off you, dog.
Yeah, so I just don't like the hack, but yeah, cool. So I kind of stayed in. I think Wednesday. I don't know if you went out anywhere. You might have stayed in.
Nah, we went and got dinner. We got pizza at some place. And then
Uh,
that's when we got the pizza, and then we was over there by where that place had the good views at, and it was like
yeah,
graffiti and a train that went down. So they literally had
yeah.
like a tram. Again, it's very similar to San Francisco. A tram that literally just goes down the end of the street and back up. That's all they do, and you pay like €2 or a euro
Yeah,
something.
just because it's a steep ass hill, so like people don't want to walk it, so they just put trams in random places to get you up and down.
It's crazy. And you sitting on that tram literally waiting for like 5 minutes for it to go because they got to get it kind of full and stuff. Waste of money in my opinion, but I guess if you're going up the hill for sure, maybe that's worth €2.
It's worth it. Sure.
Um, After that, we went to a museum the next day, the
Yep.
Lisbon Story Century at Commerce Square. First of all, Commerce Square is really dope. Just the history behind it and just how it looks is super big. I'm sure that's like the one of the big landmarks of
Yeah.
Lisbon for sure. And the museum was cool. It was semi boring just because like the tone and stuff. We did the audio tour, but it was very informative for sure. Like it was a
So
lot of information.
we learned about like there was a big earthquake in 1755, I think, or
Oh yeah,
56, that basically kind of like tore down most of Lisbon. So this square that we were in was kind of like the center for their rebuilding. So they kind of built the city kind of how they wanted. They made these structures that were kind of withstand against earthquakes and stuff like that. But this city center was kind of like the start of let's rebuild Lisbon. So that was pretty cool. There was an earthquake and a fire, so it was a lot that happened.
yeah, a
Um,
lot of natural
yeah,
disasters or whatever.
so that was
Um,
really cool to learn about. But again, was kind of boring, but it was cool. It was informative.
that movie they showed was real graphic. It
Oh
was
yeah,
a
it
lot.
was.
So they showed like a short film of like reenactment of the earthquake happening and stuff, and then them like rebuilding. But they literally showed like men, women, children in there, like pretty much getting crushed in a church and stuff, and all this. It's a
It
little.
was
It wasn't
intense.
gory per se. It was just they literally were showing like bodies of people and blood everywhere and stuff.
Yeah,
Children laying there, people trying to find their kids and stuff when they,
yeah.
after the earthquake has happened and just looking for loved ones and stuff.
It was traumatic. I'll say that.
It was, yeah,
But we went to like a restaurant right around that area. That square has a lot of restaurants where you can just sit outside and eat. So we went to a restaurant right after that. Just kind of chill. Ate. I think we got like sandwiches, burgers, something like that.
it,
Ate and just kind of watch people watch. I enjoy people watching every once in a while, so that was kind of cool to do. Um, then I think we were decided to do the pub crawl that night.
yeah.
Is
We
that?
went back to the hostel and chilled, and then we signed up for the pub crawl that night.
Welcome to the trap.